All right, my voter information. So I have, since October 2020, voted in 4 different elections, and I have another election to vote in. And this is just since I moved home and got my enhanced driver's license in Washington State. So there's actually history that's not here, because this is where So this is just post move back to Washington State. I was registered to vote in California for part of 2020. So in 2020, I switched over and started voting here. This is the 5th one. Yes. 5th time voting. So I'll go over, I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I have a playlist on my channel about, I think it's like my voting history or something like that. So it's like, well, this is the 5th election. So in what is that? It's like a 5th election in something like a 16-month period. It's kind of a lot. I've heard of the term voter burnout, where people burn out because of the number of elections. We're pretty good. I haven't burned out, but if somebody isn't keeping up with this stuff, or whatever, I don't know what the threshold is for voter turnout. 5 and 16 months is 5 and 16 months is a fair amount. One a little over every 3 months. And so what's on this time? So this one, general obligation bonds for parks and recreation improvements. Sounds good. It failed last time it was on the ballot. So it was on the ballot in 2021. I think it was the April special election. It failed. It didn't get enough votes. It didn't get enough votes because people didn't show up in the numbers that were needed. Because it was after a presidential election, for things to get past, 40% of voter turnout from the general election, 40% of the turnout needs to vote, and not enough people turned in their ballots for it to pass, so it failed. So it's back on the ballot this time. I voted no last time. I'll vote no this time. I can't even fill it in. Why? Because I'm one for nature, and these parks tend to... It gets kind of frustrating as someone who cares about the environment, because they'll put in like turf, and turf is super bad for the environment, because natural grass fields serve as birds can go and dig for worms there, different critters can go and get food there, and then turf also, so it's the loss of the grass and implementing turf, and then turf itself creates excess runoff with pollutants, oddly enough, when it rains, and so it can actually interfere with natural water flow. I actually we tested that kind of stuff in one of my environmental science class I took here in this Shoreline area. And so I care about the environment, so I'm going to say no, because some of these updates tend to be anti-environmentally friendly, even in King County. And then, so, no. For the next one, replacement of expiring levy for educational programs and operations. I think that one tends to be good. I'm not in the school system, so it depends on what the programs and operations are. I think these things really hurt people who don't have kids. We'll put it that way, who have to pay for other people's kids. And it's kind of politics isn't fair in America. So, that kind of thing. So I'm going to say no, because I don't have kids and don't want kids. And, well, So I'm upholding justice of not paying for other people's bad habits. Yes, that's kind of like an analogy would be like I stopped going to department, like the gatherings at a place I worked, or so employer gatherings, because the price of attendance we had to pay for ourselves, and the majority of the price went to alcohol, and I don't drink, and some people would get drunk, and then, you know, there's shenanigans that go with that, and it's kind of, I'm not going to pay for somebody else's alcohol and them getting drunk, and like especially at the place where like misconduct was not exactly unheard of. Just kind of, I'm not going to feed into that. So I'm going to vote no. These are just my votes. Everybody gets to vote how they want, I hope. And then the last one is replacement of expiring capital levy for technology improvements and support. I have something like 13 years of teaching experience, and I have attended schools, so this one is relevant because technology improvements were something that teachers in this school district, so I was in this school district for 13 years. And technology, this specifically was something the teachers talked about, how it's really frustrating. So stuff will get passed, and that's good. However, people who propose these levies, kind of thing, they tend to come up too fast, is the feedback. And as someone who has over a decade of teaching experience, I do agree with that. I think technology improvements and support are good. However, the frequency is not so good, because if technology is updated too frequently, then it actually hinders a teacher's ability to teach, speaking from experience and speaking from the feedback of the people who have taught in the school district. So I'm just taking into account my perspective as well as the feedback I've gotten from them of too much, too fast. So I'm going to vote no, because it is too much, too fast, versus like if they waited 5 years and approved this, then yes. And like it'll probably approve anyway, like most people have kids or like have enough money that they're like, let's give it to somebody else's kids, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm voting no, just from the teachers, from being a teacher and from getting feedback from teachers in this school district of too much, too fast. So it's going to be a no for that reason. So this is my vote, my voice, my choice. Kind of like your vote, your voice, your choice. Your vote, your choice, your voice. Your vote, your voice, your choice. Yeah. Okay. It's been a while since I think the last one of these voting videos I filmed was 2020. So it's been a little while. Then that's the ballot. And they have a, you can take this off and go online and see, track your ballot and stuff like that. This goes in here, and then that goes in here, and then I have to sign it and turn it in. But that's this election. 5th one in 16 months.